Gil Huffman with Honest Reporting. Thanks for joining us. Tell us your reaction to the interview recently between the BBC presenter and former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett.
Naftali Bennett is just the tip of the iceberg. He went through a situation both on the BBC and on CNN where he was asked about the IDF being happy to kill children. And that's just an abhorrent question. The IDF does more to avoid civilian deaths than any army in the history of mankind on this earth. That's a quote from Colonel Kemp of the British forces in Afghanistan. And whenever there are terrorists that surround themselves with children as human shields, they call off the attack, even in midair. And so that was just such a preposterous allegation, especially during an operation in which there were how many civilian deaths, Chris? 0.
The BBC did apologize. What do you think of their apology?
I found their apology to be rather pathetic. So they admitted that the tone was not as good as it could have been, they said. But no, this woman, this anchor who has done this before, we found statements that she made similar in the past. She should not be anchoring anymore. She's certainly not dealing with reporting and anchoring on life and death issues. She should be going back to her old job of covering sports. That this isn't for her.
Honest Reporting covers the media all the time. We've seen this in the BBC and, as you said, CNN. What does this say about the media as it relates and reports on Israel? So,
Chris, the media reporting inaccurately about Israel isn't just something to be annoyed by, like we are if our sports team gets poor coverage by the commentator in the game. This is life or death. We saw during the month of Ramadan that there were inaccurate reports about what happened in the Al-Aqsa Mosque on the Temple Mount, that the police went in to stop rioters from harming worshipers. They were then attacked by the rioters. And when they fought back, they took YouTube videos that made it look like it was the IDF attacking these rioters. And of course, the headlines around the world were Israeli police attack worshipers in mosque. And that was the exact opposite of the truth. But that false reporting was used as an excuse to fire rockets at Israelis from Syria, Lebanon, and Gaza, to attack an Italian tourist on the beach in Tel Aviv who was murdered for the crime of looking Jewish, and also the D family on their way to Tiberias for a vacation. And the way that then was covered was as if they were murdered again, settlers killed in occupied territory. So it's more important than ever that we get the best coverage possible of Israel to save lives. And that's what Honest Reporting does in monitoring the media and making sure that the coverage improves.
Yeah. And during that, the reporting of Rabbi D and his family, I think famously Christian Amanpour said they were killed in a shootout as opposed to killed by terrorists. They were just randomly chosen that vehicle. Just tell us a little more, expound a little bit about what Honest Reporting does.
So that's the perfect example, what you mentioned with Amanpour, because our team, they look for videos of journalists getting things wrong, articles that have factual errors. They found Christian Amanpour, those 8 seconds, and we put it on social media. It went viral around the world. 1 million people had seen it within a few days. And then we led a pressure campaign to get her to apologize. She thought it would be okay to just apologize privately to Rabbi D. And we continued the campaign until she apologized publicly. And so we find mistakes every day that we get corrected. And we've gotten 6 anti-Semitic Hitler and Hamas-praising journalists fired around the world over the past 11 months. And we depend, though, on people around the world who are watching TV and reading articles to send it to action@honestreporting.com. Tell us when they find things that are problematic, because we're just a small staff of 3 writers and 1 social media person. Follow us on social media. We're on every social media platform. And contribute also, if you can, to helping Israel win the war on the media battlefield.
Well, Gil Hoffman from Honest Reporting, thanks for joining us on CBN News.
Pleasure. Thank you, Chris.